All right, welcome back, everyone, to the Meet Us in the Ring podcast. I am Mary the Heel. Sorry, I don't know. We don't know if what just happened got caught on camera. If the live stream started, that's why we're laughing. So I guess we'll see when we go back and pull clips. Hi,
Hi guys.
it's Mary the Heel and Maddie here. We're switched sides today. That's
We
okay.
are.
That's something new. It's
I'm
fine.
very excited to be back, though. I got my mic set up, guys. I'm so excited, and
I'm so glad you're back. I've missed you.
I missed you too. I missed all you guys. I'm very excited to be back. So we have a lot to talk about today, and I'm not talking about
We
CM
do.
Punk.
Yeah. I mean, we can address that really quick if we want. We don't really talk about AEW that much on this channel.
And we never will.
We're very like WWE centric. You know, and does that hurt us? I don't know, but
Maybe we should like just drag them a little bit for some reason.
So, you know, you guys know that CM Punk got released by AEW for good reasons. Everyone knows that I've never liked CM Punk. I've never been a CM Punk fan. And clearly he's the problem. And people who just want to, you know, deny that, you live your life, you know, live your best life. And people who are saying that he should come back to WWE, absolutely not. Anyway.
I just made a video on it, not to do a self-promo, but go on with the video.
Girl, self-promo, all you want. This is our podcast. We can do whatever we want.
Damn right. It is good to be back. I am sorry I was not here last week, guys. Your girl was sick as a dog, but we're good now. We're good.
Good. I'm glad. And we will have Phil here a little bit later. When he gets here, he'll get here. So we're here to talk about Payback, which happened yesterday. For some reason, whenever we do the news, I'm always like, that was, 3 years ago. Like, it just, I don't know. It just always feels like it happened so long ago. And I think it's because I never do reactions like day of. Like, I just never do because I save it for this, you know?
Yeah.
So then everybody has already posted all of their review stuff and we do it the next day, which, I think is good because if not, then we wouldn't be reviewing it till like the next week. Now that pay-per-views are on Saturdays instead of Sundays. If it was on Sunday, we'd be going live before the show.
Yeah, and ain't nobody got talked
after.
About, so.
Yeah. So I like the new Saturday schedule. I think it makes more sense. In terms of getting people to watch, because more people are going to watch on a Saturday than a Sunday because people got to go to work on Monday. So
damn right.
Welcome everybody in the chat. We're so happy that you guys are here. And like I said, Phil will be here later. But here we are to talk about Payback. The first match of the night was Becky versus Trish. They opened with their steel cage match. Oof, those pictures of Trish with her bump on her forehead.
Wait, I actually haven't seen those, honestly.
Oh gosh, girl, go look.
On her Instagram or something? Let me look up.
Yeah, she posted on her Instagram, but the bump on her forehead is huge.
First thing that came up on my
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Mm-hmm.
She did hashtag thank you, Becky. That's so sweet.
Yeah, was it meant to be sweet or was it meant to be like sarcastic? I don't know.
I mean, there's a heart, so
Yeah, but have you ever like sarcastically put a heart to someone?
Like my entire account, of course.
Yeah, exactly. No, but I don't think anyone really had. No offense, no one had high expectations for this match. It was actually really good. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed Trish turning on Zoe. So then, I don't know, is Zoe a face now? Is that what we would consider her?
I don't know yet. I do like I was quite surprised that they, broke off so quickly, but this was a great introduction for Zoe to the main roster. Y'all know me, I am not a Becky Lynch fan. I am going to give credit where credit is due. That woman destroyed that ring last night. Not to take away any credit from Trish, because she nailed it as well. Both ladies were absolutely fantastic. This match was amazing, and this feud, let's be honest, has been extremely lackluster, and I'm not saying that's either woman's fault. They haven't really been given the time that they necessarily deserve, but they proved everybody wrong with this match last night. It was absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
Such an amazing way to open the show. And Trish taking bumps like that at her age,
Oof.
God bless. God bless, ma'am.
That's what I was talking about the whole time I was watching it. I was like, this woman is 46 years old, and she's taking these bumps. She's falling off the cage. Like, snaps to her. Snaps to
Same
Trish.
for Becky. Sister just had a baby. She's just coming back. Like, it was unbelievable. I am so impressed by both ladies. It was fantastic.
Me too. I really enjoyed this match, and I'm glad that a women's match had a stipulation, because I feel like we don't get enough of those anymore. We had this period from like 2015, 2016 till like 2020 where women were getting a lot of stipulation matches, and it was really cool.
Yeah.
Like Iron Man matches, steel cage matches, Hell in a Cell, like all that stuff. And I feel like they've kind of taken a step back in doing that. And I don't know if that's for like safety reasons or, you know, whatever else, but I'm glad that they got a stipulation match. So I think it makes it so that the audience wants to watch more, and we need that for the women's matches. So I thought it was really good.
Yeah, I did notice Trish did pay homage to Victoria.
Mm-hmm.
That was amazing. Just some of the moves they were busting out, I was shook.
And then Becky did her homage to Lita, aka also the Hardys, though, doing the Twisted Fate. So yeah, I liked those spots. That was really cool. I was hoping that Lita was going to come out to help Becky, but
I
guess just not.
She didn't, but you know, whatever. Sister Becky got the job done by herself.
And I'll continue to say Becky doesn't have any friends.
Well,
yeah, I don't really have much else to say about that match. It was a good match, and I got my prediction, so I was 1 for 1 of Becky winning. Yeah, I really didn't think Trish was going to win this because she didn't need it. I mean, Becky really didn't need it either, but you know, it was a better way to end the feud. Because I think Trish is going to kind of go home now.
Yeah, it's time to move on. Becky needs to move on.
Yes.
It looks like a certain Malibu Barbie is kind of antagonizing her, so we'll see. God, please do not give Becky the NXT Women's title.
Yo, but oh my gosh, but Tiffany's saying about how Becky has never won the NXT title. I laughed so hard because I forgot that she's never won it.
Yeah.
And that she's the only one of the 4 horsewomen who didn't win the NXT championship. And I just thought that was really funny.
Her, which,
I mean,
like, she shouldn't
probably
win.
Just to make her a triple crown or whatever that thing is. I don't know. There's different names for it.
Or she is already a triple crown because she won the SmackDown, Raw, and Tag Team titles.
Oh, I guess it's true, huh?
I mean, it'll be a good match if it happens, but let my Barbie girl win.
Luke, you're saying sign me up now? I don't know. I don't know if Becky needs to go to NXT, but if that's what they're going to do, then
that's what they're going to do.
So be it. Rhea and Dom have been down there a lot recently, so.
We'll get to that later. Jesus Christ.
Well, the next match on the card was LA Knight versus The Miz, and John Cena came out. He was the host of Payback, and he designated himself the special guest referee. And that segment, like, yes, it's funny, and I understand what John is trying to do. Like, he's trying to be, you know, goofy and, like, whatever. But at the same time, I'm like, why?
The Teletubby line,
yeah, that was pretty funny.
I'm wearing a $1,000 suit and you're still dressed like a Teletubby. I was like, Miz.
But and then just the way that John is like, no, like seriously, like give me some advice. I'm like, John, shut up. Like he's clearly being like sarcastic and snarky, but it's like also trying to play it off as if he actually wants advice from the Miz. So that segment was good.
Yeah.
And having him be the guest referee, that was cool. I didn't mind it.
I loved it.
Yeah, loved Miz's reaction to it. But then even like LA Knight was getting in John's face, and I'm like, isn't he supposed to be the face?
That didn't make any sense to me. I don't know. I feel like LA Knight, like
doesn't see himself as a face or a heel. Like I feel like he just kind of exists. And so I feel like he just kind of does whatever he wants, even if it's not what a face would do.
Pretty much.
You know? I don't know.
And I love that for him. I honestly was not like, I wouldn't say I wasn't excited about this match, but I did not have very high expectations, and I was happily proven wrong. I think this was a very solid match between both the men. They showed good chemistry. They had some funny moments, little giggles every now and then. I'm always sad to see Miz lose. I really am.
Me too.
Just because he's such a workhorse, but I also have so much admiration and respect for him for constantly putting over new and upcoming talent, because that's something that a lot of other talent on the roster, not going to name any names, are not doing. So for the Miz to just do that is so much admiration there. And he put up a hell of a fight, and LA Knight got the John Cena stamp of approval. So big things are definitely coming for him.
Junior, yes, I am. I am going to make my TikTok eventually. Either today or tomorrow I'll be making my TikTok. I promised Dylan from the Last Week in Wrestling podcast that I would do the LA Knight on a video if he won. So make sure to keep an eye on my TikTok for that. So thank you, Junior.
And I will put it on the Meet Us in the Ring clips for anyone.
No, but I agree 100%. The Miz is so good at putting people over. He's one of the best, and I just still don't understand how he's so underrated, how people still don't like him. Like, even if whatever, he's a heel, you're not supposed to like him. But how can you not, though? He's so good. He's so good in the ring. He's so good on the mic. Like, he made a feud out of nothing, out of thin air. And he only had a few weeks to really tell a story. Yeah. And he is so good at doing that, even with a little bit of time. Like, doing the impersonation of LA Knight was top tier comedy. And it was so good. I was fully invested. I laughed hysterically. He's just so good. And the impersonation was spot on too.
It was so good. Like, I was like, wait a minute.
He drew on the stubble. The Miz is just incredible, and I'm sad to that he loses a lot now, but he's also one of the older talents, so that typically happens to push the new stars. And the moment with LA Knight and John at the end, it seemed like maybe they'll have a match coming up in the future. But also the level of respect from John. Clearly they want to push LA Knight, and they want to show him in that light of like, hey, the torch can be passed to him. So we'll see. We'll see what's in LA Knight's future. It obviously eventually it'll be titles. When and what title? Don't know. We'll just have to wait and see.
I'm hoping for a feud with Ray so he can get that US title. I'm not gonna lie.
Even though I love Ray, Ray is like in my top 3 forever. I don't think he needs to be the United States champion. So I wouldn't mind LA Knight starting there. And yeah, overall, I thought this match was good. John Cena did a good job as referee, except for those countouts. Honestly, they should have been counted out like 3 times. He just wasn't counting, and I was like, all right, John.
I am shocked to see this, Junior, because anybody who has watched NXT and who has seen LA Knight in NXT, damn well that man can wrestle. He can. So I am shocked that people are actually saying he can't.
Maybe it's not that he can't. I think it's just it's more of an old school style of wrestling. I feel it's more of the classic style rather than what Ricochet does or what other people do. So I think it's just more of a classic style, and so then people think that it's boring, which I'm not an LA Knight fan. I'm not on the train, but I'm never gonna say that he can't wrestle. So. But speaking of the U.S. title, Rey Mysterio versus Austin Theory for the United States Championship. This was also a match that I was like, I don't know how it's gonna go, but I was I was happy with it.
Thank God Ray retained. Oh my God.
Oh yeah, honestly.
Sorry, Axel, love you, but like, come on.
Yeah, I don't think Rey Mysterio should have lost the title, so I'm glad that he didn't. I don't think Austin Theory needs it right now. I think the stuff with him and Grayson Waller is really good, and I think they could build off of something else. I don't know. What did they do with Theory? I just don't know.
Side note, did anyone else see that Grayson Waller tweet with the damn Pepsi can?
No, I didn't see it.
Oh my, so let me just pull this up because my man Grayson Waller is a messy ass bitch. Oh, can I say that? Where is it? So he tweeted, Jey Uso attacking me unprovoked on my own show. Fire this man.
Oh my God. Girl, we're gonna talk about Cody and Grayson later, but
the Pepsi plunge CM Punk reference, I love it. Grayson Waller messy, and I love it.
Yeah, that's hilarious. Grayson Waller is messy though. But
it's so
hilarious.
Amazing. He is literally like one of my favorites, and he's just eating up this role, and I'm obsessed with him. I see a lot of people in the comments saying they didn't care about this match. I zoned out a little bit at the beginning of this match. I feel like it took a while for it to pick up. But when it did pick up, I thought it was pretty good. It was a pretty solid match. I mean, both Ray and Theory are fantastic in the ring. Mm-hmm. Theory has definitely gotten a lot better as he's progressed on the main roster. I think this was a great match. I understand, though, that it's not an exciting feud. People don't want to see Theory with the title again. But yeah, it took a little while for this match to get going. But once it did, it was pretty solid, and I enjoyed it.
I just think that Ray is also one of those people like Miz who can work with anyone. Yeah. Like, can literally make anyone look good, can make a match be exciting without people thinking that it was going to be exciting. Like, he can make it exciting. I don't know if that made sense. Hopefully it did.
No, I know what you mean.
I love Ray so much though, and he is truly one of the greatest. Mm-hmm. And it's gonna be a sad day for me when he actually retires. I
don't want to think about it.
I know I don't want to think about it either.
I don't want to think about John Cena retiring either. Like, guys, I'm not ready. I'm not ready.
Yeah. But overall, I think this match was really good. So far, I don't think this pay-per-view overall, I feel like a lot of people were not excited about it because it was just kind of, okay.
I was not
excited. A lot of people, weren't excited because it just seemed like a very, almost lackluster card. Mm-hmm. But this turned out, for me, to be one of the best pay-per-views of the year so far.
I don't know if I'd go that far, but I know where you're coming from in the sense that it was a really great show.
Mm-hmm. I just think overall, all the matches, people were like, oh, I don't know how it's going to go. But then it turned out good.
One match that we'll get to was not the tea.
Oh, I don't know which one were you referring to. I hope it's not the one that I'm thinking of.
It probably isn't.
Okay.
I'm looking at you, Miss Ripley. Sorry.
I'm wearing my mommy shirt.
Don't get me wrong, I love Monday Night Mommy, but I just, we'll get to that.
Yeah, we'll get there. Also, I don't know what they're going to do with the LWO. I know people are assuming that Santos is going to turn on Ray. I just don't see it, though. I don't see why they would, because the LWO merch is flying off the shelves again. Mm-hmm. And if you do that, you break the entire faction. And then where does Zelina go? There's so many other factors besides Santos and Ray. So I don't want them to do that. I don't want them to break up the LWO. I don't want Santos to turn on Ray, because Santos came in with Legado del Fantasma, with the other two guys. Sorry, I don't remember both their names.
Hey guys, sorry about that. Sorry about that.
Welcome.
Sorry about that. Apparently, I'm the only one that actually has a
would you look at the damn
here.
time, Phil? And I thought I was always late. Kidding.
Hey, apparently, I'm the only one that has a working car around this place to get sandwiches. So.
Oh yeah, it couldn't be me. Could not be me.
Well, we're so glad you're here now. We were just talking about the LWO and talking about how we don't want Santos and Ray to fall out, and we don't want the LWO to break up because it would have so many other repercussions.
Yeah, there's
So how do you feel about that?
To happen. There's no reason for it to happen soon.
Not now, at least. Not now, at least. So, like, I think when it comes down to it, did you guys do any other matches before I came in?
Yes.
Yeah. So we'll have you give your opinion on those in a second, but
okay. So, the only person I believe that should be the one to dethrone Rey Mysterio as United States champion is Santos Escobar. I think that's the only person that really should be doing that. Yeah. Now, here's the reason why. I do believe that the LWO is not going to be a thing much longer. I would say by WrestleMania time, this thing is going to be basically, disbanded. So I would honestly have Ray versus Santos at WrestleMania for the United States Championship. I would have Ray be the champion for this long, and then have Ray be the one to give the championship to Santos, because I think that's honestly where they should go, because Santos is really a champion that I believe WWE could get behind if they really do that. But the only way they would be able to do that is if they kicked Rey Mysterio out of the LWO, so to speak, and then
you can't do that.
And then Legado del Fantasma would be back. That's basically what it would be, because Legado del Fantasma from NXT would be all the way back, and with Zelina, and you're good to go. Now, like I said, I don't think that's going to be happening for a little while yet. Until WrestleMania time. So until Rey Mysterio has that time with Santos, let's keep it rolling.
Yep. All right. Well, we'll go backtrack real quick and just give us a short review of how you liked this match of Becky Lynch and Trish Stratus.
I was not into this, feud at all. Feud.
Okay. I'm with you.
The match was fantastic. The match was great.
Yeah.
The match was way better than I honestly thought it was going to be. I'm not gonna lie. I'm sorry, guys. The whole feud just did not resonate with me at all whatsoever.
Agreed.
That's exactly what we said earlier
when it came to Becky and Trish. But the match, I'll give them this. Trish worked her ass off in that steel cage. Becky, whether you like her, whether you don't, she can work her ass off in that ring. They did fantastic. So I'm glad Becky won this thing. But now what I personally want is both of them off my TV for a little while to get them repackaged. Just to either get them repackaged or just to get into something new, because they need it. They both need that reset button. And that's all I'm going to say on that, because Becky, she is really shown throughout this feud. I'm sorry to say this, but she might be the worst of the four.
I'm saying.
She might be the worst of the four.
Maddie? I'm telling you.
And I always thought Charlotte was the worst of the four, but now it might be. Now it might be
second best.
So, well, I'm personally a Bailey and Sasha type of guy, but that's okay. But yeah, no. This was great for what it was, and then Trish, she needs to honestly let Zoe Stark be the one that really reaps the benefits of all of this, if there were any. But yeah, that's what I think. So good match. Winner came out on top in the end, and hopefully Zoe Starks gets something in the future.
Agreed. And then really quick, your thoughts on LA Knight versus The Miz?
Yeah. Come on, Mary. You know it. It's the movement.
I'm going to block both of you right now.
The one thing I will say about this, I did not care for John Cena being the special guest referee. I'm sorry. I love John, but it wasn't really needed. The feud was the feud was well already thought out already. Then all of a sudden you just needed John to be the special guest ref. It didn't really need to happen. But obviously the right winner came out on top here. I actually picked The Miz, and the only reason why I picked The Miz in this thing is because I thought WWE would continue on this feud. I would personally have wanted it to continue because, when LA Knight said something about Maurice, I thought Maurice could have possibly shown up, cost him the match, and then we could have gotten this thing to Fastlane where he being LA Knight would ultimately get the win. But they didn't. They put LA Knight over, which is obviously the right call. And hopefully, dear God, we get him to that United States Championship shot. I don't know if he's going to win the United States title, because like I said earlier with Santos, but LA Knight getting that United States Championship shot, that's all we want. We're not even asking him to beat Roman at this point. We just want him in the mid-card title. That's all we want. It's okay. Yep. But LA Knight, good on you. Yeah. Good deal.
All right, moving on.
Yeah. I'll get you to say that. Yeah, eventually.
He has to make a video.
I do, Phil. I don't know. Right. I don't know if you saw that.
I saw it. See, good on you guys. Good on.
So that'll be up most likely tomorrow. But so Cody Rhodes being on the Grayson Waller effect, I thought it was going to turn into a match with the two of them. I feel like a lot of people thought that was going to happen.
Greatest talk show in WWE.
Love Grayson Waller.
This segment to me was, I'm sorry to say it, really pointless. I understand it was talk about Jey Uso, but it would have been better if he would have came out on Raw. Because then everyone would be like, oh my gosh, he's on Raw, like he left SmackDown, but then he also said he was leaving WWE, but now he's back. Like I feel like it would have been more impactful if he would have just shown up on Raw.
And all you jokers thought he was going to AEW.
Oh, come on! Yeah,
nobody wanted to watch that shit show.
You knew he was going to show up in Wembley. He didn't, though. He didn't. Yeah.
80,000 people.
Oh, come on! Don't. Okay, let's not go over that now. Let's not go there now. It honestly wasn't even for Cody, and you're unprofessional.
Yeah, it's time.
Unprofessional.
It's time for my husband's vacation. He had surgery.
Oh damn!
Oh God bless.
God, please.
No, he's fine.
All the prayers. No, but you're right. This wasn't really meant for anything. I honestly thought it was going to be for an impromptu match between the two. Cody would win, and then there you go. Yeah. Cody got a thing. But no, this was for Jey Uso coming back to WWE. The only thing that I will actually give them props on is that, remember when Ray and Dom had their little thing going, and then Ray went to SmackDown because he honestly just couldn't take Dom's shit anymore with that trade or whatever happened? I guess that's the reason why they're doing Jay on Raw and Jimmy on SmackDown. That way they can separate the two and really just let them go up until the point to WrestleMania time so that we can get Jimmy versus Jay.
And
that's the silver lining. That's the silver lining in all that,
Yeah, I'm okay with that. It's gonna be so hard for me seeing them not together. Like I've been an Uso fan for almost a decade now, and
literally day one with these guys.
Day one.
So
I remember them with Tamina, because nobody's meaner than Tamina. Nobody's meaner than
I think she does.
Come on now, she's still there. Sadly.
Okay, Simon Miller.
Nobody's meaner than Tamina. Come on now. It's a thing.
No, but I mean, when they were faces and they wore, the face paint and the matching outfits and did the twin magic and like all that stuff, like I've been watching them for so long, and so seeing them separate, kind of hurts my heart a little bit. But I know that they both probably want to have a singles run, which is fair. If you're having to tag with your twin your whole life, basically. Like, you want to be an individual for a little bit. And I think this is a good time considering all the bloodline stuff. And Grayson Waller was so good in this segment too.
He's like, and then Matt for 2 weeks.
Yeah. like chill out. Acted like he'd been gone for a year. Yeah, that was really funny.
He's right though too.
And I think the Grayson Waller effect is, I want to say it's getting up there in like my favorite, talk shows on WWE.
Oh, yeah. They use
Miz TV will always be my favorite, but
they used it very well in NXT. And when it came down to Grayson Waller, just having that type of a character with that type of gimmick, it just fit him. It really did. Now,
Yeah.
Well, obviously you guys probably saw SmackDown, but the whole Grayson Waller and Austin Theory thing,
Mm-hmm.
I want
So
that to
iconic.
continue. I
Me
do.
too.
I want
Me
that to
too.
continue. I really think that with both of their career trajectories honestly being so similar, they can honestly make that work and really get that going. Plus, Austin Theory, no United States Championship anymore. He needs a reset button. Give
Mm-hmm.
him Grayson Waller, get that going, and we can see actually something go down between these guys. So I'm honestly liking it. But Cody, after having a 4-month feud with Brock Lesnar, only to have this just to announce, oh yeah, I pulled some strings to get Jay back.
And it's like, I'm sorry,
Wow.
you have that kind of power here?
I mean, he most likely
I don't
does,
think
but but hell, it is what it is. Hopefully,
I
Cody
just
gets
think-
something better.
I mean, I think it's interesting, and I think when Cody was leaving, and he said, like, I hope I don't regret this, because obviously he had such a long feud with Roman in the bloodline, and it's like for him to be the one bringing Jay over, like I don't know where this is going, but I'm intrigued.
That basically just draws the line. Is like, all right, you legitimately brought back my cousin to your show when he's my responsibility. That could honestly get the thread going between Cody and Roman again. So, and Cody has to go to SmackDown eventually because he's got to get to that show with Roman.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's got to be some sort of line there. How did Jay get to Raw? Was it because of Cody? Is Cody going to SmackDown because of a trade, so to speak? I mean, Jay for Cody, I mean, that's kind of a little lopsided of a trade, but they got to make that work if that's going to be happening. So we'll see. I don't know what's happening now with Cody. I really don't. I honestly wanted this his next feud to be determined in this, but now it's not going to happen. But rumors did have it that, I don't know if you guys heard this, but Bray Wyatt was supposed to be putting the lights out and attacking Cody in this segment. He was supposed to be his next feud. And I know that puts a damper on everything, and I'm sorry, but what could have been?
Yeah,
what could have been for Cody's next feud?
If
Seriously.
that's true, that would have been really cool. Unfortunately, we'll never find out. But
I don't think I ever talked to you guys about that whole situation, and I'm sorry, but yeah.
I mean,
I don't want to cry.
Yeah, no, I don't. I didn't want to make anybody feel so sad, but
I mean, I addressed it. I addressed it on last week's podcast, but I've been watching Bray Wyatt, since his Eater of Worlds gimmick on the main roster, and so it was hard, because he had so much more to give. And a feud with Cody would have been really cool.
Cody
very much that like classic versus character,
Cody was his pro in NXT, so it would have made all the sense in the world with the puppets, and they could have done something with it. But it sucks.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. I'm gonna cry now too.
It's okay.
I'm not bringing you on the goddamn show anymore.
but yeah, no. Whatever Cody has next, I'm sure it's gonna be fine. I'm sure he's gonna be fine on the road to WrestleMania. And then Grayson.
I'm interested to see what they're gonna do, because for me, it's like they're gonna have to find some kind of filler
Luke.
until WrestleMania. Like,
yeah, no. We got 6 months. We got 6 months. So like, how are we gonna do this? But we'll
just
see.
Please, no more triple threats with Sammy and KO and the Judgment Day. I can't do it anymore.
Oh my god! Just
Cody needs to do something else.
Get rid of the 6-man tag team matches, please.
Yeah, I'm not sure where he goes, but I think Grayson Waller has a very promising career, and he's doing great right now. He's doing great, and I like that they're putting him with so many big names.
Yes.
John, Edge, now Cody. Is like they're trying to get people on board.
And he got that approval from Edge.
Approval?
Getting that approval from Edge, getting that, rub with John on Money in the Bank, and now doing this Cody thing, they see something in him. And you can clearly see that by the people he's being put with.
Yeah. I'll never forget the line that Grayson Waller said, where, because Edge is saying sink or swim, and he was like, I'm from Australia. Like, I was born in the water or whatever he said.
Born in the water. Like, I have to. I have to
Grayson
swim.
Waller.
Because if I don't,
I want that on
I'm
a t-shirt. Whatever his line was, I want that on a t-shirt.
Phil, before you got here, I was mentioning that tweet that Grayson sent with the
mhm.
Pepsi can. I don't know if
oh
you
my
saw
god,
that.
dude, that was too soon. That was too soon, but I loved it. I loved
Such
every
a
second of
slay.
it, man.
Such a slay.
So great, so great. Too soon, but that was a great troll.
I love it.
Oh,
Well, the next match on the card after, I don't even know if this was next. I don't remember the order, but
It's nice.
Sammy and KO
yep, that was
versus
nice.
the Judgment Day. I'm wearing my I'm Your Mommy shirt. I'm sorry, Rhea spearing KO into the barricade.
Great stuff. I loved it.
Grand
Iconic.
Slam Balor, yeah.
This is honestly probably going to go down as one of the best tag team matches all year long. This was
Probably.
incredible.
This was the Terry Funk tribute that we needed.
This was a hardcore match.
Yes.
Whatever that tables match with the pinfall was on SmackDown, that's basically what that was.
I don't know what that was.
Now, Luke, you're not totally wrong. It could be a match of the year candidate in terms of tag team matches. I usually do match of the year kind of things when it comes to tag teams and singles matches separately, but that's just how I do things.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, for sure, definitely a match of the year candidate in terms of tag team. I'm a Judgment Day guy, so all rise,
Judgment
all rise.
Slay.
All three of us are Judgment Day people, so
We're on the
All
Judgment
right.
Slay train.
I love Sammy and KO. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I do. I think they're
Absolutely.
absolutely fantastic. They definitely should have won at WrestleMania, but they didn't do anything after that. Now,
Yeah.
the only
Their
thing that I was
reign-
very scared of... Oh, go ahead. Sorry, Maddie.
I'm sorry. Their reign was just, it had gotten to a point where it was not giving what it needed to give. And
Yes.
I believe it was you, Mary, who brought up this point that said, you know, the women's tag titles, they're being stripped as soon as they're injured. So why are
Mhm.
Sammy and KO still holding this? So I was
Right.
very happy to see Judgment Day win last night. A little bittersweet, but whatever.
Mhm.
And Finn is finally a Grand Slam champion. I'm so happy for him. And for the
That's
amount
right,
of
he was
times that Judgment Day have been in the main event, like every
Yeah.
Raw and SmackDown, they deserve to be champions at this
Yeah.
point.
I can't believe they're all champions right now. Like, that's insane. And they are officially the dominant faction in WWE. And that
They
can't be
are
disputed.
the best group in WWE point blank period
Yes.
right now, today. I mean,
Like, sorry, Roman, but you haven't been here in like a month, so.
And we don't miss you, boo.
and the Bloodline story is taking a pause. It's taking a break
Yeah,
right now.
for sure.
So I mean, it is Judgment Day when they say they run Raw. That's not just a catchphrase. That's legitimately what they have been doing.
They're not just running
So-
Raw, they're running WWE.
WWE,
Mhm.
honestly. So
Women's
like, it's-
champion, North American champion, tag team champions, Money in the Bank. Like, I've never,
It's the whole
have we
thing.
seen this? Have we
No.
seen this dominant of a faction? Like,
No.
yes,
I-
obviously Roman had the titles, and then the Usos were tag champs. But even the Money in the Bank briefcase, like all of that, like it's insane. They're pushing
Yeah.
Judgment Day so hard, and I don't know if you guys remember, but like last year at some point, I really thought that like Judgment Day was going to be done because they were doing nothing
Yeah.
with them, and then now they're just being pushed to
We
the
used
moon.
to call them Judgment Flop. Like,
Yeah.
now they're Judgment Slay.
When Edge left the group or was kicked
Mhm.
out of the group, I didn't really think anything of it after that. I really didn't, because I thought Edge was, obviously the greatest thing to happen to this group. Getting Rhea in there, getting Damian in there. They were getting these people in there to really build up their careers. Rhea Ripley has never looked any better in this
Mhm.
in her entire run in WWE. She's never looked any better.
I mean,
Damian
this
Priest.
reign is not the team. Though.
I mean,
It's not the best, but I mean, her as a whole. Think of her prior to Judgment Day. She
her
wasn't really doing
popularity
much.
wasn't there. Yeah.
No, and now she's
But
like
now
one of the
she's
top
doing-
merch sellers.
Right.
Mhm.
Damian Priest. I can't think of Judgment Day without Damian Priest. Damian Priest has been absolutely fantastic with this.
Yeah.
Finn
Yeah, I
Balor. This is the best he's looked on the main roster thus far, to me. And
looking too.
well,
Did I
damn.
say that out loud?
Yeah, you did. And
Where's the
Dom, I
lie?
mean, Dom's improving. You know, we all
Oh,
see
yeah.
he is improving. So I mean, that's it. It is what it is. But I will say though, I was very scared that they were going to lose this match, they being the Judgment Day. Sammy retains with KO, and then you know that superstar spectacular thing that's happening whenever. I think
Yeah,
that's
what
like
are they
the
going to
8th.
do about that now? I guess Judgment Day will be facing.
I think it's going to be Judgment Day versus Share. But I honestly thought because of, the politics that go over there because they're in India, I thought we were going to see new tag team champions in Share. I seriously did.
Oh,
But
my
God, please
goodness.
no.
I didn't want it. I didn't want those guys to beat Sammy and KO, but that's just how I saw that coming at that point.
Mhm.
But now with
I wish
Judgment Day
so.
as the tag team champions, it looks like they're going to be taking on Share, at least you would think. And Judgment Day would have to win that because they just won the titles. So
Yeah.
hopefully they did that just so that they can have that,
And to answer this question, do you guys think JD is going to join Judgment Day?
100%.
I don't know what's going on with that. It's so
I-
weird the way that they're like just not like being so blatant about it. I don't know.
Well, but they're
I see
making it seem like, they made it seem like JD was going to get Finn to leave the group, but now it's JD kind of wants to be in the group. So it's like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I still think JD is going to join Judgment Day. But in all of this, I thought that this match is going to cause tension between the two. Damian would have possibly gotten pinned, and then all of a sudden Finn would see that Damian Priest is no longer, a right fit for the group, and then kick him out. JD gets inserted in, and then there you go. But they didn't really have any friction in any of this. Everybody came together and they got the titles. So I don't know what happens from here, but I do still see JD joining Judgment Day. But if it was up to me, JD has proven without a shadow of a doubt that he's with these guys. So just add him to the group.
Yeah.
What's wrong with just adding him and not any of them getting kicked out?
I mean, 5 people
That's
is
what
a
I would
lot.
have.
I don't know.
It is.
Like with LWO, they're not really doing a lot because there's so many of them. There's 5 of them.
Yeah.
So I don't want it to turn into like, people start getting put in the background. And I feel like that's kind of happened with Rhea, because a lot of the focus has been on the Judgment Day drama between Damian and Finn. And so that's why Rhea hasn't really had a meaningful story until now.
Well, I still don't think Damian's cashing in successfully. I don't know if I ever talked to you guys about this, but I don't think he's cashing in successfully.
I have no idea. For his sake, I hope he does.
I want him to. But I just don't think he is. And the only reason why I don't think he is because JD McDonough and Finn Balor, they could cost him that briefcase, and then that's how they kick him out. That's the only way I see it. But I don't know why you would cost them when you guys are honestly on the same page right now.
Yeah.
But
It's
do we
very, very
think
weird.
that the Judgment Day is going to have a long reign with these tag titles?
Maybe not. Maybe that's the reason why
I
they
don't
do
know.
that, so that they can lose the titles, and then whoever gets pinned in the loss gets kicked out. It's so
Ooh.
weird. It's
Yeah,
so weird.
I don't know, but this match was really good and had a lot of really great spots. KO was so
Insane.
sketchy, doing that flip off of
Crazy.
I was praying for him.
missed most of the table, but still kind of hit Dom. And then, Can I just say, though, one of the things that I did not like about this match is how much pandering there was to Pittsburgh. Sorry to everyone from Pittsburgh.
The whole Pittsburgh Penguins stuff.
I'm
yeah,
a Pennsylvania
that was-
girl, so I will stick up for my Pittsburgh people.
It was too much. I mean, even with LWO having PWO shirts. I'm like, why are we pandering so hard to
honestly know
Pittsburgh
that.
right now?
I didn't notice
so
that happened.
funny.
Did you guys not see that?
I didn't know the
I saw the
PWO
terrible
thing,
towels
but I
and
did do
everything.
I did know the terrible towels, and I did know the Pittsburgh Penguins
Yeah.
stuff, but I didn't see the
And
PWO.
I was like, this is a lot. Like, normally they do this when they go to, like, a different country. Like, when they go to Canada, they'll do stuff like that. But,
Yeah.
like, I just thought it was really weird that they were going so hard for Pittsburgh.
like
And
like
Pittsburgh's
Sammy
not
and
a very
KO got
rowdy
thrown.
city, by the way.
Sammy and KO got thrown over a barricade, and then all of a sudden they showed up with hockey sticks and a
Yeah,
and
it
the
was like,
Penguins
hello?
jersey. It's like, what?
I
Where'd
kind of
you-
loved that. I
How'd
won't
you
lie.
get changed? Like,
I
what
thought
did
it
you
was
do?
just
The
Did
clothes were
hysterical.
just back there.
you
They just
changed
jumped in
right
like,
in
quick,
front of
put on the
fans?
fucking jersey.
You changed right in front of fans? Like, what happened? Like, they
So
must have
funny.
saw a lot more than the show. Wild, but it is what it is.
Kevin
Dude,
Rose
that
up
bitch
like
is great.
season
Seriously.
3.
Seriously, it was like that time where I never told you guys the story, but I'm sure a lot of the people that know me from OTV do. In my early days of watching pro wrestling, I saw it was a live event between John Cena and Dolph Ziggler. It was a steel cage match. And again, I was like 1 year into watching this thing, and it was obviously during the Cena and Dolph feud. Cena was basically dead to rights. All Ziggler had to do was basically walk out the door or climb over the cage. He's halfway up the cage already. Roman, hold on one second. Yeah!
Yeah.
He literally hit the LA Knight for that. It's invading his life, guys.
All around, I think this was a fantastic match. Probably my favorite match of the card. And
Sorry.
I think the right people
okay.
won, despite it being kind of shocking. That ending was weird. That pin was very weird.
Yeah. It was... and then Finn, he was like, did we win? That part was really funny.
Basically, all I was trying to say was that Cena basically rose from the dead while all of a sudden, Dolph was on top of the cage. He just got up like nothing ever happened when he clearly got hit by a zigzag. I was like, what the hell? He just rose from the dead. Everybody in my section was laughing at me at like an 11, 10-year-old kid that was just, saying like, oh my God, he rose from the dead. I'm like, what? You just
because John was notorious for that.
Like, you just saw him get hit with a zigzag, and now all of a sudden he's fine. Like that doesn't happen. But yeah, it was crazy.
John was notorious for that.
This match is great. Loved it all.
Agreed.
Judgment Day, All Rise, love him. Now, what the hell?
Moving on to the best member of Judgment Day, Mommy Rhea Ripley. By the way, I really want a Monday Night Mommy shirt.
Yeah,
I
really want that shirt.
It's cute. Already. They should have made that already.
Is it not? Is it not on WWE Shop yet?
I thought they haven't made that yet. If they did, go get it.
I don't know. Hopefully, if it's on there, I'm gonna get it. But Rhea and Raquel, obviously they have history. They had matches in NXT, and this match, was very much about they match strength. They match size. How is it gonna go? And I don't think it was a bad match. I think it wasn't good. It definitely wasn't Rhea's best match. And I don't even think it was Raquel's best match.
At least it went over 5 minutes and it wasn't.
Yeah,
it went 17 minutes. Like this match got a long time.
Was it really that long?
17 minutes, yeah.
Okay, work. But we've seen Raquel and Rhea go at it in NXT, so we know the chemistry they have. We know what they're capable of. And this was just not hitting for me. I mean, I expected Dom to interfere, blah, blah, whatever. But, at a certain point, it's like, can we just see Rhea defend the damn title on her own? The way we know she can.
That's the thing about about Dom and Rhea Ripley's relationship. None of these two can honestly keep their championship intact unless the other is interfering on their behalf. To me. And that just doesn't seem like the way you would want to build up your women's world champion and or your North American champion. I mean, I know it's NXT, but still, you would want the North American championship to be better than that. I thought at least you would. So, I don't know.
I think we all know that Rhea can do it without Dom. It's just the fact that she's currently not doing it without him. But we all know that she can.
It's just weird because we've seen Rhea be such a powerhouse on her own for so long. From beating Shayna in NXT all the way to beating Charlotte at WrestleMania, which by the way, she did all on her own. So it's just so unnecessary. And I'm not blaming her for her booking. That is absolutely not her fault. But I kind of wanted Raquel to win. I'm not gonna lie.
I had a feeling that Rhea was going to retain. I mean, it made more sense after Judgment Day, won their titles. But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't have been mad if Raquel won because I love her too. Like whenever she comes on, I'm like my Latina queen. Like I just love her.
I love
I mean, Zelina is also my Latina queen, but I just love them both so much.
It's okay, you can have two.
I know, but yeah, I thought the match was good overall. Obviously they played to Raquel's injured knee and stuff like that. So I think that slowed the match down a lot. If they would have been allowed to just go and like not play into the injury, I feel like it would have been better. But they're trying to tell that story, and I hope that they have another match, and I hope it maybe turns into a trilogy. I don't know. Maybe we see it again down the line at WrestleMania. But
that's the thing about these women matches over the course of like just the last few months with WWE. They give these people stories, but they just don't give them matches to just let themselves go. Like, let yourselves go and just figure things out. Yes, the story obviously matters, but I'm going to go back to the match between Shayna and Ronda. I told you guys right from the jump that MMA style match was not going to be the right fit for them.
Oh my gosh, it's not good.
And
my wife
wasn't.
won though, and that's all that matters.
Yes, she did win, but now I'm sorry, Maddie, but where is she? What happened?
I don't know, but they better bring my sister back.
And that was the problem. Like, see, they do the right things in the end, but then the follow-up in the aftermath, they just don't do carte blanche.
I will tell you exactly who should dethrone Rhea Ripley, and it's Shayna motherfucking Baszler getting her revenge all the way from NXT.
But do you trust WWE to do that?
Of course not.
Do you trust WWE to do that?
Of
and
course
that's
not.
the problem. That's the problem. But
also the problem is, and this is just from the business perspective.
Because now what happens with Raquel?
People love Rhea. People love Rhea. Yeah. People don't really love Shayna. Obviously a select few people too. But
she is getting more over with the crowds. Don't even.
But Rhea is a merch seller. She really is.
So is CM Punk, and his ass got fired.
Yeah, but that's because he was problematic.
Because he was an asshole.
Rhea hasn't been problematic, and so that's definitely Rhea being gorgeous. First of all, her being extremely talented, her being a merch seller, her being part of the most dominant faction in WWE right now. I talked about this with Dylan last week, but every champion right now is in a faction. And so unless they decide to change that formula that they're doing, I don't see Shayna becoming champion. I see someone else who's in a faction becoming champion. And it's just we're in a weird time right now where literally every champion is in a faction.
You know what really fucking sucks, and I'm sorry for my language, but the person that's gonna beat Rhea is Becky, and that sucks so goddamn much.
I really hope not.
Because she does not need that title. She doesn't deserve that title. It should go to someone more up. For fuck's sake, give it to Zoe Stark over Becky Lynch. But the one person who, in my opinion, deserves it, maybe not even a championship, but at least more recognition, is Shayna. Because, first of all, we should all be thanking her for saying bye-bye to Miss Ronda Rousey. And she got a good reaction when she beat Zoe Stark, and I was very happy about that. But I feel like Shayna and Rhea, with Shayna beating Rhea for that title, would just be like a full circle moment, and it would be really, really good. And no, it should not be Liv Morgan Jr. I don't want to see that.
Now,
Hell to the no.
I will give you this. Rhea versus Shayna at Fastlane could work, but honestly, what I would do, and I'm not saying the whole Liv Morgan thing can't possibly happen. It definitely could happen, especially if she returns in the Rumble. But what I would do, personally, I would get Shayna back into that Elimination Chamber, have her wreck house like she did a few years ago, and then that's how she gets back into WrestleMania. That's how I would do it. That's how I would do it. But I still personally do believe that we are most likely going to be getting Becky versus Rhea at WrestleMania, and I don't want that.
Don't manifest it, y'all. Don't manifest.
Like, literally, Becky, go away.
She doesn't need to be in the title picture all the time. And that is
I'm saying,
she's honestly becoming Charlotte. She's honestly becoming Charlotte with how many championship opportunities she is.
Okay, that's not true. But, like, she's becoming,
she's becoming that, and I honestly thought Becky was so good up until that feud with Trish Stratus, and then the real colors came out. So
I just want to see women that haven't gotten a chance get a chance. Like with Becky champion, she just squashes everybody, pushes everybody down, makes everybody the same. It's like a Britt Baker comparison, although Becky's not a terrible person. So like it's just I want to see new women. I want to see new women. I would love to see Becky in non-title feuds, better booked non-title feuds. But it's like Bianca said a long time ago, you are nothing without that title. I honest to God think that's true. I don't think Becky is as good as she is without a title. But even when she has a title, her reigns are extremely lackluster and they just don't give what they should. So I don't want to see her near Miss Tiffany Stratton's title. I don't want to see her near Rhea's title.
Oh, she's going back down to NXT. I hope you two know that. She's going back down to NXT.
My Barbie girl better retain. Because honestly, the girls in NXT, a lot of them are a lot better than Becky is in the ring.
They are killing it right now. And NXT is honestly the best, to me, in-ring action throughout the entire week.
Yes.
They got character 100%. Development. They got storylines that may be a little out there for some people, but they at least got them. And then, the in-ring action is great. Now, while we're on the topic of women's wrestling, I gotta get your thoughts on this real quick. People were telling me all over the place that Io Sky was supposed to be defending her women's championship against Zelina Vega tonight, or on Payback. That match was never announced, and then all of a sudden, people told me that, oh my gosh, they got cut again. They got nixed out of the card again. There was never a match graphic for this.
It hasn't even been built up enough for them to do that. So.
And they did the match.
They had a match, and Zelina lost.
They did the match on SmackDown. So for those of you guys who keep saying that like these women get cut, I want more women's wrestling than anybody here. Like I love women's wrestling, and I think women's wrestling can do the best that it can if given the time, because this is the only women's match on the card again, and people were not happy about it. But they got a lot of time, a good 17 minutes.
Well, Becky and Trish too.
Becky and Trish. That's my bad, but that's how bad the feud was. I really didn't care for it.
At least the match delivered.
The match delivered, yes. But like people were saying that these two got nixed off the card again, and their match was never made official for Payback.
And the feud was never really established. So that needs time to be built. Yeah.
You guys got to stop with the whole they're getting cut business, because
I didn't even know that was a thing. I didn't even know people were saying that.
Yeah, because women's wrestling, yes, it may not be the best thing right now in WWE, but they're at least
anywhere really.
Trust. Yeah. The only women's division that actually gets treated right is Impact.
Impact.
That's it.
Don't get me started on that AEW.
Miss Trinity holding it down.
And NXT is doing really well too with it, but it is okay.
Yes.
It may not be the best thing main roster wise, but just saying that things got cut when things aren't official.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Yeah, that's not fair.
Don't do that, because that's not.
Yeah, that's just people. That's just people creating problems. But overall, I really like this match, and I think that the women are headed back in a good direction. I'm gonna put that out there. I'm gonna put that energy out there.
Gotta get it back. Gotta get it back in the direction.
So let's get to the main event, which thank you WWE for not saying there's like 10 main event matches on the pay-per-view. The main event, Seth Rollins versus Shinsuke.
I thought this match was never going to end. It did not only seem like a 26-minute match. It seemed like 45 minutes.
I don't know. I found myself really not paying attention to this match. I'm sorry, guys. I didn't care about the feud at all. I really appreciate how much they really tried to like amp it up and really give us I enjoyed the segments between them. I just didn't care. It was so obvious that Seth was going to retain, and it just wasn't like interesting to me. But that's just me.
To me, it was just annoying because you built up this whole thing about Seth's back, And then he still won. And I would have been okay with Shinsuke taking the title if Seth is actually injured and needs to take time off. Like, that would have been fine. And the fact that he retained, so it's like, okay, so is he just going to continue fighting with a bad back? Like, you built this whole thing around his back. And it's like, I don't know. That doesn't seem like a good or safe idea, guys.
This is 2 times in a row now where the challenger of Seth Rollins should have won the championship. I'm sorry.
I'm
sorry.
No.
I'm sorry.
Finn Balor at SummerSlam.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I mean, Finn Balor definitely should have won that championship. And then all of a sudden, like, I have loved everything that Shinsuke has been presented as on Monday Night Raw since this whole heel turn happened. I love the vignettes with, the actual captions because he's just speaking Japanese, playing to his strengths. That's what they should have done in all the 5 years instead of him being the low blow merchant and just, low blowing everybody during that feud with AJ. This was the best way that they could have done him, point blank, period. And Seth, if you wanted to take some time off because of your back, because of your injuries, give Shinsuke the title for a little while, come back, you can win the title back, and who knows. But I actually like the main event. I think the main event was great. It's just, it was so damn long. I was like, all right, that's got to be it. Kick out.
Too much.
That's got to be it. Kick out. When that final sequence of the stomp to Shinsuke, I'm like, watch, these guys are probably going to kick out. And then it was the actual pinfall. I was like, oh, okay, good. But 10% of me really wanted Shinsuke to win this thing, but I think we all knew that Seth was going to retain. And that's what sucked about it, because Shinsuke's been great this whole time. And now what are they going to do? I don't want Shinsuke to just go back down.
I definitely don't think he was championship ready, though. No.
I agree. His promos were fire, though, and I think that
absolutely.
if they let him to kind of continue doing this kind of thing where he's speaking in Japanese, and because I don't know, to me it's more intimidating, and like he was low key scaring me. I said that last week, and I'm like, okay, Shinsuke, like okay. So I think
on this path. Continue on this path with him,
and seeing where it can go and who he can feud with.
Continue on this path, see where things go, and if you want to give him a championship down the line, make it a United States or Intercontinental Championship run. And then if you really do think that like people are getting behind this and then wanting him to get back into the World Championship picture, go for it. I'm cool with it because Shinsuke is a World Championship caliber superstar.
Yeah.
But it's just, they got to get him in the right positions to get him there. Yeah. This was a little bit too soon for me. That's all.
I wanted him to win just for the simple fact, if Seth does need to take time off, like, why continue to have him hold the championship? But it was a good match for what it was. They both put on good matches and they work well together. So I was happy with this pay-per-view as a whole. Like I was saying with Maddie earlier, I did not have, huge expectations for this show just because it is a lot of mid-card stuff and a lot of, and a couple non-title things. And so I thought it was just going to be like an okay pay-per-view, but I really liked this one. And, I think it could make my top 5 of this year so far.
Yeah, no, this was a way better pay-per-view than I think anybody really ever had it. Looking at this card, it didn't look all that great on paper, but then all of a sudden, as soon as WWE just, lets us, let our guard down and say, all right, we can skip this one, we can't. We can't, because these matches were great. Yeah. These matches were great.
I appreciate the longer women's matches. I appreciate the World Heavyweight Championship being the main event. Like, I appreciated a lot of things about this pay-per-view, except for the Cody Rhodes thing. But that's just because I feel like Jay should have debuted on Raw. But
it would have made more sense for sure.
Yeah. So that's my only gripe with pay-per-view. But everything else, I was like, love it.
I don't think really anything's topping. Was Backlash wasn't the one in Puerto Rico, was it? Yeah,
Yeah.
it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Puerto Rico crowd was definitely
gosh.
an
They
MVP of
ate.
that show.
So good.
Backlash versus Payback debate. I mean, Backlash is still
Yeah.
on top for me when it comes to
Yeah.
versus Payback. But Payback was a great show, a lot better than most people anticipated. Can't really complain other than that Cody thing because I really still don't know where Cody's going next, and that's
so
the problem.
goofy.
And we still have Fastlane coming up next.
Fastlane
So-
in October.
We'll see where we're going. What date? What date is it? Do you guys know? What
I think
date
it's like the
Fastlane
first.
is?
I think it's the first Saturday of October. So whatever
It
that date
is October 7th, Saturday.
Oh, okay, cool.
All right,
In
so
Indianapolis, Indiana, which
Yeah,
means
so
the crowd is probably going to be ass.
I'm glad it's not. Not
first
like
Saturday.
October. The first day of October is a Sunday. So okay, that makes sense. Anyway,
first Saturday of
um,
October.
So yeah, next up is Fastlane. I'm excited to see what's going to happen on Raw tomorrow. If they're going to do anything with Jay.
Yeah.
They got to. They got
And if JD is going to join Judgment Day, we'll see.
We'll see.
But thank you so much, Phil, for coming on here. Even though you were a little late, it's okay. We forgive you.
Hey.
The honorary ooze always. And we appreciate your passion. We appreciate your passion for women's wrestling because that's obviously something that we're very passionate about. So you're always welcome here. We stand all good vibes. And make sure that you guys subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to Phil's channel, OTB, right?
Yep.
And
outside the brand on YouTube, it's OTB for short. But if you just type in OTB, it should pop up.
Make sure to follow Meet Us in the Ring on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, all of that good stuff. Follow me and Maddie and Phil on all of our socials. And do you guys have anything to say before we go?
Yeah.
Guys, look, first of all, I want to say thank you guys for allowing me to be on this show. You guys know I absolutely love you guys, and I love what you're doing over here. So this is great. Now, like you said about the whole women's wrestling, being passionate about it, I may not always get, the sometimes in the right frame of mind when it comes to women's wrestling because of some things that go on in WWE. But that doesn't mean I'm always going to, either disrespect these women for what they do or the way they're booked. I love women's wrestling, and I think it's a great thing for the women to get in these spots that they should be in. But it's up to WWE to get there, and it is what it is.
Agreed. Let's all push WWE to push the women. And on that note, we will see you guys next Sunday. Bye.